Hello everyone, talking to the wall right now, get used to it. Corey here, this is my boyfriend Corey. We're going to do an interview tonight because I feel like you see pictures of him all the time, but I promise he's real. And maybe a wrestling video here and there. But I just figured I would do an interview, and he is currently 3 weeks away from his first bodybuilding competition, which is September 22nd. He's so thrilled that I'm interviewing him right now. I promise we like each other. Anyway, so I've been with him throughout this whole process of him getting ready for his show. Not every single day, but we talk all the time, so I guess that counts. But I basically get to see, what he's been doing, working out wise, eating wise, different things like that, and how he's been handling the whole competing, since I've competed before. But I think the ones that I've done were just a little bit different from what the guys really have to go through to get down to the percentage body fat and things they need to get to. So he's a really hard worker, and he's definitely kicks my butt in the gym all the time, so it's a good thing, I guess. Sometimes I want to kill him in a good way. But I had some questions written up, so I figured maybe you guys would be interested to know a little more about the man of my dreams. So thrilled. Anyway, so the first thing I'm going to ask him is, tell us a little bit about yourself. I feel like they see pictures of you all the time, but a little bit about your athletic background.
Yeah, well, I think my past has been a little bit of wrestling, and I wrestled in high school and through college for the last 12 years. So all the hard work and all that stuff had really done stuff to my body. But after I graduated from Teal College,
Represent.
I kind of wanted to get into something other than something competition-wise, and I always enjoyed the lift, so I figured I would try to do something stupid like a bodybuilding competition.
He's thought that. He doesn't mean that. He's enjoying it.
I do. I have enjoyed it, but it's getting tough now the last 3 weeks. So it's getting exciting that it's my first show. So I guess we'll go from there.
So basically, that was kind of my next question, was what flipped the switch for you to decide to compete? I remember being with you whenever you decided to compete. And for a little bit we toyed around with me doing it with him, but if you saw my vlog last time when I talked about that whole thing that I went through with competing and stuff, I just decided I just really wanted to focus on the whole, just working out like I was and just fueling my body properly and doing things the way that my body works best. So what flipped the switch for you then, from just going from working out to deciding to sign up for the show?
I think just transitioning from wrestling into doing something, I guess.
Have another goal?
I have goals, and I think just competing so much for 12 years, I think some people would get sick of it, but I think with me, I just had to do something. And bodybuilding, my brother's has done some couple shows, so I figured I could try it. I was built decently before, I guess. So
He was built perfectly fine before you did all
So I guess I would see how far I could push my mind and my body with the strict dieting and the different kind of workouts than compared to my past wrestling experiences.
Which leads us into the next question, as if you knew what order of questions I was going in. What's different between the wrestling mindset and the bodybuilding mindset? What is different when it comes to, if you compared the two, how are they different on your body and your mind?
I think the mental aspect of it, that it's pretty much the same. It's 24/7. You're constantly thinking about it. You're constantly worrying about what you're putting in your body. The workout-wise, it's just kind of pushing yourself, but different aspects of it. A lot more weight training, obviously, in bodybuilding. Not as much cardio, which I've realized is not as much cardio in bodybuilding. It's more, you need to be so strict with your diet that the fat usually just comes right off of you.
Melts right off.
a little different in wrestling. You're pushed a little. I would say you're pushed a little harder with your body, just because you basically yo-yo diet every week, where you balloon up each week and then suck back down. So during the year, I averaged losing Monday through Friday about 8 pounds. And I put it on Saturday, Sunday, and lose it Monday through Friday, losing another 8 pounds. So a little bit different. So it's a little bit starving your body during wrestling. And this, you're constantly feeding your body. So the mental aspect's still pretty much the same, because it's all, you're constantly thinking about it. You're worried about, you know, what you're putting in your body and how your body's going to react to it, so you can perform to your highest potential.
Your highest potential. Like you said, that the wrestling, I was introduced to the wrestling world once I met him, because I really didn't watch much of it before, but the whole stories he's told me of the, you know, just with the yo-yo dieting throughout the week and not really being able to eat much, but working really hard. It's a really hard part, I think, of the wrestling. It's amazing athletes, what he's been able to accomplish. He's a 4-time All-American at Teal College, 4 years. So it's, you know, he's done a really great job. But whenever he was telling me his stories of like eating and stuff, I was like cringing, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's not really fueling your body. But hey, it's what you have to do, and that, you know, to perform. So would you say that the hardest part of wrestling was the aspect of the eating, or was it more of the physical part?
I think just every week you would just suck everything out of your body. So we're at the point where you're completely exhausted every weekend, completely drained of water, you're dehydrated, you have no food in your body. So, I mean, I guess we'll kind of figure out once I start to carb deplete or start to dehydrate with this, then I'll kind of be able to really compare the two.
Right. So, what would you say so far has been the hardest part of the competition preparation? What would be the hardest part do you think you've struggled with?
I would say 2 things probably. Definitely first, the posing. I'm kind of struggle with the posing aspect of it, because it's a whole new ballgame for me. I'm not used to just holding my muscles for long periods
It's not easy. They might make it look when you see the poses and stuff, but like all the guys would always come off the stage after the shows that I was at, like dripping in sweat, and I was always like, why is it so hard? Because I would just, you know, you girls walk out, there wasn't a lot of us in our class, so we'd hit the poses pretty quickly, and they could determine our order pretty quickly, and we were off stage. Or especially with bikini, when I did it, it was more walking and you know, flirty and stuff, so it wasn't as much holding poses. With the guys, you know, it's just like, I've been practicing with him. I haven't been doing them, but I've been calling out the different poses for him and videoing him so he can watch himself. And you know, it's not easy. It's not easy, and no wonder they're always sweating when they're coming off stage and their protein's dripping everywhere. It's a glorious thing. So what was the second part?
Second part's kind of like my weakness, which is like sweets and just kind of
bad
food.
food.
Bad food, I guess you could say. It's not bad, it's delicious. But
It's delicious.
For wrestling, since you were able to, usually we'd wrestle only on weekends, so you'd have Sunday and Monday, usually, where you could just eat whatever you wanted, because you just suck it out of your body so fast that it really didn't matter what you put in your body. So I guess during that, I could kind of feed my sweet tooth, I guess, during Saturday and Sunday, and kind of get my mind back on track, where I could, you know, get right back into it on Monday or Tuesday. But with this, it's 24/7 of nothing that I want to eat.
We go through Walmart and he's like reaching towards things, and I'm like, you're so close.
So that's been definitely the hardest part of it, is just kind of being able to get through each day without cheating and smashing peanut M&Ms.
Which I've tried to introduce him to powder cakes, and he makes those. And I've introduced you to a couple other things. The first time we ever hung out, just kind of side note, funny story, I can bring this up, but I tried to make him this like concoction that like probably you all would love and I loved, like a power bowl of like Greek yogurt and cinnamon, and I think I made my healthy chocolate sauce and peanut butter. Yeah. So I made this like little bowl, and I put the amounts of things in it that I like, which my taste buds are used to, like the stevia and the cinnamon and all that stuff, and he wasn't really used to it. This is like the first time I think we like ever hung out, like just the two of us, and I like make him this little dessert. I was like so excited to like show him I was credible for what I do with my blog and stuff, and I gave it to him, and he like started off and like slowly just like stopped eating it, and I was like, you know what, you don't like it, just put it down. And he just put it down, and he's like, I must like it because I can be really honest with you. So he said the best part of it was the peanut butter. And I was like, well, that's funny because that's the only part I didn't make of it, so go me. He's coming around now. Well, speaking of that, that was my other question. Were you really a clean eater before this? Or really ate, the way you do now? Has this opened up your mind to new things?
Yeah, I think definitely. I wouldn't call myself a clean eater before, but I definitely watch what I put in my body. I guess you gotta have everything in moderation, but I could definitely see myself getting out of hand, I guess, with my bad eating habits.
He likes to take the candy.
She has definitely opened my world to a whole bunch of new and very good, delicious food.
Delicious power meals.
Power meals.
Like we had tonight, we made some broccoli and asparagus, and he cooks a great salmon. He's getting really good at it. And I introduced you to like coconut oil and things like that he didn't know before. And he had some steak and broccoli and asparagus. And I had a bunch of veggies, but we eat really well together, which is great to find someone that, embraces what I am and doesn't think it's weird to eat like this. And we love to go shopping together and pick out new things and try them. So when he's done in 3 weeks, I'm sure things will expand more for him, which is exciting. Make you eat some more foods. So what's your favorite, if you had to pick a favorite, your favorite meal during the prep? Even though they're...
Wow.
Yeah, like if you just pick something... Yeah, not very many. So maybe one thing that maybe you look forward to.
Like after the show? Or
like now. And then I'll ask.
See, that's not... I'm messing with my mind's at. I'm too carb depleted to think that.
So carb depleted.
I would say like Papa Cakes is flank steak.
Ooh.
It's pretty good.
Papa Cakes can grill a mean flank steak.
Yeah, the steamer or whatever.
The smoker.
The smoker, yeah.
Yeah. He smokes the meat.
Smoked.
He's
Is that a cut?
Is that really that funny?
Some smoked flank steak, which was very good.
I don't know why that's so funny. I'm like sweating. Is your hair even turned on?
So yeah, the smoked flank steak was
that's
very
smoked
good.
meat was good.
The smoked meat was super.
I'm crying. Oh my god, my eyes are watering.
We're too carb depleted.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh my gosh, my eyes. Okay, so moving on from the awesome smoked flank steak.
Definitely my favorite meal.
Okay, so that was the favorite meal. Oh my gosh. Whew, my eyes are watering. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. Do you agree that I always preach, don't mind away from my tears, I always preach that, and I practice what I preach, that nutrition and fitness really go hand in hand, and that's what I've learned. Do you agree with that? Do you agree that the nutrition is to really fuel your fitness? Like, do you feel...
Yeah, I think just through this, like I said, through wrestling it was kind of hard to really put the two and two together because you're constantly just like on a yo-yo, and you're kind of just going week to week. But the show really showed me that over a period of time, you feed your body with the proper nutrition and you work out, your body can really change very quickly. And even though the bodybuilder diet's a little too strict to live your life, it is definitely opened my world to know what's good and what I can feed my body with, but maybe with a little more quantity and a little more quality, I guess.
Right. So that's the thing that I've talked about too, is how restrictive sometimes it can be, and especially he's had a lot of help from his brother who has done this before, and with me being here and his family and everyone. But when I first did it, I had support too, but I also was doing a lot of things on my own, so I didn't really do it the right way for me. So I've dealt with stuff, but he's obviously learning. So when it comes to our workouts, I post a lot of our workouts because he comes up with some cool combinations. Like both of us together, it's kind of fun to be able to make up some stuff in the gym and work on things. So what would be your favorite body part to train?
I think this process I've struggled with my chest a little bit, so I think that's been my new workouts for like building my chest. But I think our back and bod day, is probably my favorite. Just because we need to help power kicks do pull-ups.
All I want to do is one freaking wide grip pull-up, which I probably could do. It's just like my mind for some reason.
Yeah, it's a little mental block.
It's a mental block.
But
I can do these guys just out here. He wants to help though, which is amazing.
So just back and bod, I think, is we just kind of get some worms come out. We get our worms.
The worm veins.
The worms come out.
We're like, what is that?
The worms.
What do you mean that by veins?
The worm veins.
He has like crazy ones too that I've always called worms because they just like they're just crawling all over his body. Isn't a bad thing. Alright, so today was our rest day. Today was Sunday and we both had a rest day because we worked out and stuff throughout the week. Do you agree that I think rest days for both of us are hard because they can be active and we can go do things, don't just like sit around all day, but sometimes at the end of the week we're tired, whatever, we end up just being bums all day, and I think that's sometimes hard for us to get used to because we're so go, and forever we've been doing something every single day and things like that and being active, so for us to stop and not is kind of hard sometimes, but we know it's important for our bodies. So is that something you definitely have learned is important but yet you struggle with?
Yeah, I think that even dates back to the whole, my wrestling career.
Right.
Even on, we would be feeding our bodies on the weekends. We would wrestle on Saturday or Sunday would be our first rest day before we would get back into it. We'd still work out on Sunday night because you need to work out to get your muscles. They might be beat up, but you need to work out and kind of get all the, I don't know, the scientific terms or whatever. But
like the blood flow into your muscles.
Blood flow and back in your muscles so you're not as tight and come Monday. So you work out every day. There's no days off. And that was a really tough thing, learning from my brother and through Power Pigs here. That, you need to take time off, and it is hard to sit around here or go do stuff because you want to work out. And,
you feel lazy, I think sometimes you feel lazy.
I think that's I don't know, it's just something you feel different about. You have some energy and you want to, exert it at the gym or here by doing something active. Just to be healthy, not even to build your body, but to just do something that you enjoy doing and to keep living. Keep living. Keep living.
That could be our motto.
So
just keep living.
Yeah. So I think but I also learned that I need it because I also feel better the next day. Every time I take a rest day, the next day I feel like I'm stronger, I'm bigger, I'm able to do more in the gym the next day. So I think it's definitely really
So tomorrow we'll kill chest, shoulders, triceps. That's our plan in the morning. And I think that, it's not that we're lazy. I think rest days are super important. It's just embracing them and realizing your body needs it. And once you embrace it, it's like the best day ever. Because, all day, you still eat, normally, we eat, our meals throughout the day, our healthy meals, and just, relax and rest and then start a whole week over again. So there's no laziness. It's just embracing the rest day.
I think it's also a good thing to kind of think about the whole week that day, kind of readjust your goals, kind of figure out what you want to do that week and what you can change, and you can also prep the day for your food or your meals that week. So that's also
which we did today.
We've been baking all day.
Baking and cooking all day. Yum. Speaking of goals, it's like you knew what I was going to ask next. I swear he hasn't seen this piece of paper that I scribbled all over. Because I was blow drying my hair tonight after I showered, and I was blow drying my hair, and I was it just popped into my head that this could be something we could do tonight to have this interview. Because I feel like everyone sees you, they just don't really see you.
Yeah.
The real you.
You'll be severely
disappointed. I'm like, who's this?
Severely disappointed.
False. #false. Alright, so, speaking of goals, who inspires you to, keep pushing forward? I know you've got some books he likes to read, but some inspiration.
I think my family is a big part of it. Just never settling, I guess, is a big part of it. Never being content. I've read a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger books, so that's kind of like that was kind of my first love for bodybuilding, I guess.
Will you just say what our first hangout
Oh yeah,
session was?
first movie.
That was when I made him this horrible Powerball.
Yeah, same night.
Oh, we watched
Pumping Iron.
Pumping Iron.
Which is
like
a great
we were
film.
meant to be together when he's like brought it over and I'm like, I really want to watch that, and he's like, match made in heaven.
Meant to be.
Go us. We watched Pumping Iron and he hated my yogurt bowl, but I finished it. He ate the peanut butter part, so it's fine. But so Arnold is one of his inspirations.
Yeah, and then I think also my oldest brother Wilson, who's done a show. You know, I kind of want to see what I can do also on that stage. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Really?
I guess just brotherly pushing each other.
Yeah.
Brotherly love. And
Brotherly love.
Competition. So.
It's nice to have someone who's done it before, especially I think for the guys too. You know, because you can get so much stuff from the outside world, but to have like one person to go to. Because I didn't know everything and I don't know everything. So if he has any questions for me, I'm like, well, you know, ask your brother. Your brother's been through it. So it's been really cool for him to have that. Do you have any fears in 3 weeks from now about the show? Any like fear?
Yeah.
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 This is
I think
Dr. Casey show.
I think
Dr.
my,
Fire Casey.
yeah, I think my stage presence might not be as good as it should be.
Have you really ever been on stage before in front of people like that? Other than wrestling?
Wrestling, I've been in front of thousands of people, but like when people are just like looking at you and you're looking at them. Because when you wrestle, you're not looking, you don't even think about it.
No.
I guess that's gonna be. You know, I hope I don't like shake or something.
Yeah.
But
I'll be screaming from the stands.
I think just not being happy the day of the show. If I'm not happy with my body's at. I think that's I'm kind of afraid of.
I think that's a normal fear for people that are competing, to be afraid that your body won't get to the point that you've been thinking that it will.
Exactly.
And I am here to always remind him that weeks ago he probably could have stepped on stage because I think his body type looked really great, but you know, it's that whole judging yourself in the mirror, which I try so hard, you know, not to do. So I just kept trying to tell him, you look great. You know, people, the pictures that you see, they look that way for that day because the week before is a completely different thing than what you do in your everyday life to get to that point on stage for that day to get your body that way. So I told him, I'm like, you know, it's gonna come. It's all gonna fall together and he'll be fine. So
yeah, I'd say that's probably my biggest fear right now is not being 100% happy with where I look, but hopefully
he'll be
see
fine. He'll be fine. All right, so post show, what are you looking forward to most? Candy and chocolate and
ice cream.
Ice cream.
A lot of peanut butter spreads.
Lots of we were looking at the wall of peanut butter today at the grocery store. We were amazed at all different kind they have.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing with going back to the wrestling aspect. You usually have that at least once a week, and now it's been 12 weeks or whatever it's been. It's been a long 12 weeks so far, and 3 weeks ago, but I think I'm just looking forward to some ice cream, relaxing, and being human.
Back to normal life.
In moderation.
Right, which we all say is fine. And I can't wait to like make him a bunch of these recipes that I make, you know, like these clean recipes that he would be able to, you know, eat in a normal day-to-day. So I try my hardest. I don't bring anything to tempt him. I think the hardest maybe like, well, not even hard, fruit. I love fruit and I eat it every morning, and he just, yeah, he hasn't been eating the fruit, so that's just something that they decided on doing. So yeah, I get this big colorful plate in the morning, and he has his eggs. And so my camera ran out of memory, so we had to take a little break. But we're back. So the last question I asked that might be cut off was, I think, what you wanted after the show, and I was saying how I wasn't tempting him with like bringing things here that he couldn't eat, but I don't really eat anything that is bad really anyways. But one of his, I was saying eat a lot of fruit, and that's one thing they decided to cut out of his diet for now. So will you be would fruit be re-entering your diet when you're done?
Yes.
Yes.
100%. That was a big part of my diet during wrestling, and you know, I love fruit. It's definitely up there. It's favorite food.
Favorite food.
So I would definitely be incorporating throughout the day, not even just for breakfast, but for snacks. And definitely refuel my body.
I like that. It's like I paid him to do this or something. Okay, and then the last question, which was a great answer before. See, what happened was it stopped filming because I ran out of space, and I thought that I wasn't filming the whole entire thing, and I fell onto the ground because I was like, awesome, go me, or to redo a 30-minute interview. But anyway, so the last part, my last question was for him to give any advice that he thought would be beneficial to that, you know, the FitFluential community out there. Like, you know, I always say that he's FitFluential because he is, and I think people that, you know, watch our story and stuff, they hopefully, you know, get inspired from us doing these things together. But basically I asked him, you know, what advice he'd have for anyone maybe that even isn't competing, you know, in a show, but maybe just, you know, just working out every day and things like that would be some good advice that you would give the FitFluential community out there.
I think just every time you go to the gym or every time you work out, I think it's just kind of, just give everything you have, I guess, in every workout. You're there. I mean, some days, you know, we don't want to be there, and you know, sometimes you just don't feel it. But you have to, you know, give everything you have because that's when you're at the, you know, the best results, or the results that you want. I guess another part of it would be, you know, just when you're starting out or wherever you're at, is not to get, you know, frustrated, because if you're fueling your body right and you're, you know, working out very hard each day and you know, you're putting in the time, you're fueling your body correctly, results will come. I think just without even doing the bodybuilding diet before I started, you know, following Power Cakes' planned nutrition, which is another perk of our relationship. Just going on by that, you know, I saw a lot of results very fast, or not super fast, but just results within a month. It wasn't 1 day or 2 days, or it wasn't, you know, a year. It was a, you know, a good amount of time, but it wasn't, you know, it's doable. I think a lot of people get frustrated and they think that it's going to happen overnight, or it's going to take forever. And I think it's kind of in between, and you just have to be patient and work hard each day and make goals.
Okay, before we get cut off again, the last thing you said was really good. But basically, it's important to set goals. Don't get frustrated. You know, things don't change overnight. It really is a marathon. It's not a sprint. If you're working really hard, you're going to see results. So I think that it's just all about, you know, just taking your time and you know, do things the right way, be healthy, and live a balanced life. Okay, very quickly we're going to say goodbye because we've got cut off like 35 times because I'm a picture hoarder and have way too many pictures on my phone. So thank you for joining us, and I think you did a good job. I think you're going to be approved. I think they'll like you. So thanks for joining us, and we will talk to you guys soon. Trying to get the lighting right. It's kind of dark. I need to turn that light off back there. Can you turn that light off, please? I want to introduce you to the world. Let's just jump right into this. My eyes are watering. I have you as Corey Cake's interview. Okay, so we're just going to pretend there's an audience there. That's who we're talking to. So you're really nervous? Okay, deep breath. Walking in the room. Alright. We're both sitting. You can actually see us, or if we're like that. Right? You're so excited! Oh, my goodness. Why is your face all wet?
I just washed my face.
I just.